What's up, everybody? Hope you can hear me. I don't have my headphones on. I'm out and about in Austin, Texas. I'm gonna eat these tacos here shortly. If the music's too loud, I may move a table over, but I want you guys to check out some of these before the Sunday rush gets here. Um, Waiting on some tacos and some food. I'm gonna record a little bit. Now, I just want to give you guys um, the update on the credit conference that we went to here in Austin. It wasn't that bad. A lot of information. Now, here's my two takeaways. There's two ways to go to it when you go, and of course, one's water, one's a fruity drink for today. Delicious. What's up from Sacramento? What's up, you guys? Make sure you hit the like button as you come in. Super excited. Hey! So, thank you. Yes. Thank you. Everybody look delicious. Super cool, right? So there will be a time where I will probably put the camera out there and you guys put your questions in. What are some of your questions from the credit conference? Let me know. What's up? California, Sacramento, Flint, Michigan. I would take it two ways. I would say if you're a husband and wife team, y'all can double up and get crazy reward points. And you can also put one of y'all over it, right? And there's a whole app called Award Wallet, so you can track all your rewards. Because you guys saw how much I traveled this year, and I literally could not keep track of who could do this and who could do that, who gave me discounts. But at one point, when I started keeping track of it, I realized, oh my God, I can get like so many free trips in first class, right? Because it's all I fly is first class. So I get more than most people. And I mean, basically when I was there, the two biggest things is there was a guy who had $5 million in manufacturer spend, and he had 36 cards. So I'm not gonna give you his name or anything like that, but he literally has been like shut out of certain Walmarts, certain MoneyGrams. He can't even come in there no more, right? At one point he said he was doing $100,000 a month in manufacturer spend. And for those of you who don't know what manufacturer spend is, manufacturer spend is when a lot of these people who are churning cards and trying to get points, they do various things. I'm not telling any secrets here. This isn't a secret thing. They use Plastique. That's very popular. They use Stripe. They use PayPal. They use cousins' businesses. They run money through various things. They get gift cards. Let me tell you where the economy is at this point. Simon Mall came and was a sponsor, y'all. They're like, look, we know what we doing. Y'all ain't got to lie no more. Come on over here and get your gift cards from us. We'll personally drive you over there. That's where we're at in the economy. That the people who literally issue the gift cards are like, yeah, we know y'all what y'all doing. We know y'all doing manufacturer spend. Come on over. Now, I'm working with a team in California. I'm gonna see how they do. I've already got like $60K in credit for a new business with them. And see how well they do. And I may recommend them for the channel. Or first, I'm going to recommend them for inside the Facebook group. And let the Facebook group people give me some feedback on how they did it. How well they did. I know for one guy in my other group of men, they removed 40 inquiries. So 40 inquiries is a lot. But the guy, reason he does so much manufacturer spend is he's in real estate and does contract home. I'm gonna flip the camera. Y'all can't look at my delicious crunching. But literally, he likes to stay in the nicer places, Ritz-Carlton and all that good stuff. DeMar Easy. When we had the repair care company, I saw that all the time. Cars, college students. They go somewhere and with shotgun their credit out, or they do an Apparama, all kind of stuff. But I have no bank. Well, go get a bank, Tony Parks. Why you don't have a bank? There's over 1,200 business banks in America. So at this point, I'm like, PayPal could be your bank at the end of the day. PayPal gives debit cards, credit cards. What else I got going on here? To be the hood over here. Getting regentrified it. Nah, PayPal can't keep my money. Too many horror stories. True. And that's why PayPal started getting competition from Stripe, all these other PayPal similar type of features, because they knew people were sick of PayPal. But it was a lot of information to take in. But literally, Japan Airlines, Alaska Airlines, and what's the other one? Definitely pick up on those two. Like, the craziness is they what ends up happening is something new comes out, and I put it in the Facebook group. Join some of these flight because here's the thing. Here's two things. Why are most people trying to travel for free? Because they already use their credit card anyway. And if you use your credit card for all your expenses, when you already use your credit card for most of your expenses, you're collecting points. So people do these travel events so they can get the most bang for their buck to take their kids and their wife on trips. Let me see. Yeah, American Express gives loans. American Express gives loans to its business partners. Here's my thoughts. Like, honestly, sorry, this food is delicious. If you have over $1 million in credit, if you're talking to some of these people between business lines of credit, credit cards, I'm telling you, they are literally turning around and investing those cards into franchises, businesses, Shopify stores, AdWords for YouTube, all this stuff. So, get out of here, bee. There's a bee in here I'm fighting. Hold on. I'm eating tacos and fighting honeybees out here. It's so delicious. So when I went, first thing, here's my two thoughts. You have offense and defense. We've talked about that on this channel. Where you spend all your time. Oh, I killed a bee, y'all. Lord Jesus. These drinks have honey in them. I think that's why they're coming over here. You offense and defense. If you're gonna already know, and this is some technique some people are using, they pay their rent, their mortgage, their everything via their credit card. How do they do that? They use apps like Plastic, and that's plastic with a Q at the end. And then once they pay them via that credit card, they just take all their cash from their job usually and pay the credit card off. It's a system. It's a way people are milking the system, and they can travel for free and get all these travel points. But I'm of two minds, right? So you have this conservative kind of thing where people are like, every dollar I spend, I better get some kind of rewards and points. And it will take time if you're really kind of sitting there, and that's why you have apps like Award Wallet, trying to figure out who will give you the most bang for your buck for the money you already spent. And I respect that. As a business owner, like, I mean, one of the things, big takeaways at the conference, they were like, go get business credit cards. Like, they were like, who in here started a business? And so most people raised their hand. And what's funny is, there was a guy all kind of bragging that he only had 2 cards. And everybody in there's like, yeah, but if you don't, oh, I know. Dre in the back. If you don't have a rotation of cards, you're not going to always get the 2% cash back. Like the 2% cash back, sometimes some companies are capping it at $50,000 a year. So let's say you spent $50,000 a year, 2% interest, 2% cash back. Somebody put in the comments how much that is. And this is a very chill Sunday, so points equal money. Cash checking places, no, Raphael, a lot of them weren't using check cash places. A lot of them, what they were end up doing is they would go, and this is common knowledge. You can find this out for yourself. They go to Walmart, get a money order, take that money order and drop it at the bank, but not the same bank. You know what I mean? They would kind of have a circular effect. And that's why when people talk to me like, oh, I only want one credit card or I only want one business bank account, I'm like, I'm sorry, that's not how the game really works, you know? This one's water, but this one is frozen drink. So I want y'all to see that. So, people were like, oh, you go down there, it used to be the hood over there. I'm like, yeah, it ain't the hood no more. It quit being the hood a long time ago. Do hard inquiries from your credit cards mess you up if you got to get a home loan? No, it not necessarily. It's all a balance thing, right? Do they want to right before you do closing, see you just close on like a bunch of credit cards? Not necessarily. But again, most people that I'm running into, I would encourage you, just if you've seen the channel, if you watch the channel enough, that what are these, all these classes and programs I took this year, like spent over about 60 grand, coaching and classes. It's closer to 60 grand now, might be a little bit more. And it just confirmed what I thought, right? Everybody's trying to get the personal credit score up to 720 and then just go on the business side and apply for business cards. Nothing but business cards and business lines of credit. And they're like, well, even if there's a recession and they cut your lines of credit, it doesn't matter. Usually they cut them in half. And you take that money to actually build a business and buy cash flowing assets. Does that make sense? Let's say you get 0 interest credit cards. 0 interest. You take that 0 interest, you invest in something that's going to get you 12 to 15% back. Did you lose? I mean, credit is just a tool. And the more I do this show, that's all I'm going to keep saying. It's just a tool. It's just a tool for you to use to your benefit. But hopefully you're using it for the right reason, which is building businesses. That's just point blank period. Thank you. Thanks, the Organics. $1,000. Yep. So that's $1,000. So if you have you spend $50,000 and they cap you, that's $1,000 cash back. Now, imagine some of these people in there have 36 credit cards. I'm not even joking. Very, very common in there. People are saying they have 12 and 15 and 30. Now imagine you're running $50,000. Now, not through all of them every month, but over the course of the year, what do you think that's coming back, cash back wise? So, again, I told you the guy had $5 million. He'd manufacture spin. And he liked going to Asia with his daughter. Ritz-Carlton, all this other stuff. So, I know people like using the term velocity banking, but they just slapped a word on it. Oh, okay, got you. He does it for points. He mostly does it for points. He doesn't do it as much for the cash back anymore because he maxes out all the limits on cash back. He does it mostly for points because every time he travels overseas, he takes business class flights with his daughter, and then he goes and stays in like the best hotel. So anybody know who the Waldorf is? And I'm saying it completely wrong. WALDORF. Look up that and look up most cities. You know, a night there is usually $800 to $1,000 to $2,000 depending on what city you're in, or if you're overseas in it. It's some of the most luxurious hotels. Now, some people try to act like, well, I don't care about what hotel I'm staying in. But if you're like me and you've traveled and you've slept in a bad bed or a bed where you're itching, you're like, I know there's bed bugs in this bed and I'm not staying here. There's nothing like a nice, clean hotel, period. And so I get his point. Like, once you start riding in first class, once you start staying in nice hotels, you really don't want to go back unless there's just an emergency and you had no choice. Yep, 720 and then get map business funding. Yep, Square. That's what people happens. Yep, some banks give $300 for opening a $3,000 discount. Yep. Waldorf is a 5-star hotel. Service and hospitality way better. In China, 5-star. So here's something that scared the crap out of me when I was there. I was talking about how I'm going to Tokyo and Korea and doing my little route, and they were like, if you have an Android phone and you're going to China, toss it in the trash. They're like, only have Apple, because they were like, it's that bad. It's that bad. The cybersecurity is that bad over there. I mean, it's like, you might as well have it wide open. So it's basically scamming. I mean, like, China's that bad, and also they've been confiscating people's stuff at the when they let you in. What do you call it? The border? Yeah, TSA, their TSA version. You know, they're not playing with Christians right now either. So, not to scare anybody from China, but like literally, the guy's wife was from Hong Kong, and he's an American agent, but he married a Hong Kong wife, so he always is going back, and he's just very careful, and he works in cybersecurity. I would love to interview him. His name is Kevin Song. You can go look him up for yourself, but he's in cybersecurity. He's always going back and forth between China. Yep. Use a VPN. Yep. That's what he talked about. For me, this is what I'm seeing in the economy. And the people that I saw there, some of them, their only focus was getting up to like $1 million in business credit cards. And when I asked them what they're investing in, they're like, every freaking thing. And there's something people always ask, like, Erica, man, you invest in a lot of stuff. How do you stay focused? You're doing all these things. I'm like, I'm not doing them all at one time. I want to make that very clear. I'm always hyper focusing for 90 days on one project at a time. Right? And what does that mean? Like, I hyper focus on trucks for a whole day, for a whole 90 days. And then so my mindset doesn't think but trucks, right? Or I hyper focus on Detroit housing. So then my mindset's only Detroit housing for the next 90 days. And so what you have to understand is any of these things, that's why I'm putting the planner out. So you guys can see, like, I script my day. My day is hour blocked and script. I'm going at 4 o'clock to get a facial. Then I'm going at 10 something to a movie with somebody. Listen, the day gets scripted. And the only way y'all gonna really grow your business is get scripted. Now listen, part of one guy, when I asked him what was his biggest for getting credit cards, was so he could hire assistants. He's like, I'm not gonna wear myself to the bone. So he has an assistant who runs his real estate lead generation business in Houston and in Dallas. So what does that mean? He pays this young lady and she's not overseas. She's like, Tony, chill out, man. So he literally has, like we talk about bandit signs and all that stuff like that, and paper mail marketing and stuff like that. He pays somebody, and that's what they do. They do all the running around. Now, the most similar situation I can think of to his is the guy who works in Detroit with Asia. His name is Ken. He lives in Florida. He's never set foot in Detroit. He has a staff of, like, I don't know how many, 7 people, and all they do is just roll it all day and night, marketing in those areas. And he does about, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Asia said he does it $20,000 a month, or might be $200,000 a month in wholesaling in Detroit because of it. And that's the real power of credit, right? The real power is not just all this manufacturer spend, which if it's just you and you're some young guy and you got time, you ain't got no kids, no family, you can run around manufacturer spending all weekend and stuff, you can do it. There's multiple ways to do it. But if you also are like a business owner who's like, I don't have time to do some of those tricks and tips, you literally could just use those cards to run most of your business through and then pay it off. So, monthly to avoid the interest. But that's the thing. So it was a lot of learning things, and it just grows you. It just grows you because 9 times out of 10, if the average person in America, which 75%, which is half of all working Americans, which is like 75 million Americans make 30,000 a year. What do you think is a young man or woman is going to say if you say, hey, I'm going to hire you for $4 to $5 grand a month? You're going to come work for me and do A, B, and C. And you actually have, let's be honest, 4 or 5 cards you can do that. So, yeah, you can purchase BlackBerry phones on eBay. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing of what I learned is like, you just have to be smart about it. You're going to travel overseas or you're going to be remote the whole time. Woo! Make sure you have your credit cards on one of those RIDF chip things, wallets you can get off of Amazon, and you can travel. And the only reason I was there was part of it was me trying to use points, and they basically said points are kind of not worthless in Asia, but in Asia things are so cheap that you probably could, for the price of, for the sacrifice of the points, you could save those points for flights. And that's a really good thing. Like, United 1K, I think that's what I qualify for now. But United, you have, and the reason the lady was mad about, one of the ladies talking on the panel was mad about United 1K because she was like, she sits in the middle of the plane in like a middle seat, but it just lets her get on first. That's all. To me, that's not enough. For me, I'm only investing heavily in United and American Airlines because those are 2 I fly. Now, if I lived in Atlanta, Delta would be my best friend, right? But they actually have this thing where I think some people in the group saw me post it. You can actually bypass security, bypass all that stuff, and go through a separate interest in airports in Chicago, London, Miami, and I think LA. Yeah, Los Angeles. And it's a complete perk. It's like being an elite member. So there's a lot of different stuff what you can use and do for these tips and tricks. Now, here's the conundrum, right? I feel like if you're a business person and you're convincing your family like, hey, what's the day of the 90-day book? I was really talking about a 12-hour week is a good one, but basically my planner I put together for you guys, I'm releasing it like November 1st or 2nd. This is kind of what I do daily. It's how I run my day. So I strongly recommend you get it. You'll see ads everywhere. That's what Casey does in airports. So, but yeah, there's a lot to it. So, I mean, most people, I think if you're in business and you're working, you're trying to show your family that you're doing successful without spending 15, 20, 30 grand every time you do it, I think that's a good technique. Now, and I get it. Most people, there's 2 kind of communities, whether I go to FidCon, whether I go to this, it's the fight taxes movement. Like, they're trying to defer taxes. And then you have the other side that's like, make more income. And I'm always going to be the side of make more income. Because a lot of what you're arguing about is like 20, 30K. You could fix that with more income. That's how I look at it. Now, yes, you need to be a good steward of your money and fight taxes that are bad when you can. But, we're not even talking about that today. Yes, get the trifecta clear, TSA, pre-check, and go buncher. Yeah. I mean, get it to save yourself the trouble. Because, like, to me, I saw this lady, like, she said just not having to take off her shoes was enough. And I laughed, but then I look at some people really struggling in the airport to bend over and put their shoes on. And I was like, yeah, you're right. That's ridiculous. Because that's just, you have an older population. What are some questions y'all have regarding credit cards, and the credit card survey? If you're not talking about that, I'm not going to answer it. I'm going to be honest today. Bring them to me. Bring me your questions on the credit seminar, starting businesses with credit. Yeah. You could pay it with payroll. So the best way to check yourself is, as people are building different trade lines, right now you're looking at, this used to be a kind of a hood part of Austin, Texas, and they're revitalizing. That whole center over there is a technical center. It's got to have HEB, and it's going to have Favor inside. And this right here is a restaurant I used to go to all the time. I haven't been in a while, so I came over here to have me some tacos and some alcohol. Now, Dante says that. Oh wait, I skipped somebody. How do you pay your payroll with credit cards? Honestly, you can do a lot of different techniques. Manufacturer spend. I'm not gonna go over and over to manufacturer spend, but you definitely can look in, like prime example, your staff, if they're 1099, can invoice you from their business. Always, man. Let's say you have staff though, they're on your payroll, not 1099ers. There's a lot of ways to get the cash off. So I always get business credit card mail. Does that mean I'm semi-qualified? Well, they're always looking for people and businesses that they can provide credit cards to. So it's possible. You gotta think about it like this. It's like a sales industry. They're gonna be just sending out mail nonstop. What's better, Business Chase or MX Benefits? Ooh, everybody there, let me tell you, everybody there hated Citi, and they hated, what's that other one? Capital One. Nobody liked Capital One, and no one liked Citi at all. They like talk mad smack on them. From what they say, Amex is good. A couple people there said Amex Green is trash. Really, it's like, it depends on what you're using it for, right? If you get 2% back on everything, that means cash, travel, trips, gas at the store. It all depends on what they're using it for. And a lot of times these people are using it not for the cash back, but for the points. Now, if you're a person who's trying to make money off manufacturer spend, you're going to be concerned more about cash back. If you're someone who's trying to take your whole family on vacations and stuff via points, you need to be concerned about points. Do they 2x points on everything? Or do they do a dollar, 1 point is $1. So some of these flights are 20,000 points. So how much money would you have to spend to get that? You know what I mean? Best credit cards without getting high limits. Hold on. End of the day, the credit card companies are mirroring each other. That's why I'm such a big proponent of, you can get American Express, or you can just get one of your cards that have a high limit. They'll all start mirroring each other. But it's also your job every 90 days. And for those of you in the funding course, you know what I'm talking about. Every 90 days, call and ask for an increase, so that it becomes like a standard. Like they know you're gonna call. It's not unusual. You do them all on the same day. Is it necessary to have a business license if you have an online business? Anthony Bolden, what kind of state do you live in? I don't know. What state do you live in? If you have an online business, the only thing you need is a LLC, a business bank account, and a way for payment processing. That's what you need. Let me see what else I got in here. Oh, Lord, I skipped. Okay, hold on. I was approved for American Express business credit card, $2,500. Where do I go from here? What do you mean, where do you go from here? What are you trying to do with it? In 90 days, call and ask for an increase. Eric, following credit. Brian, cool channel, thanks. Yeah, he's got good stuff. I mean, listen. What I'm showing y'all mostly on my channel is me just documenting the journey. I don't niche down hard on a ton of things. I'm showing you. Great, a bee fell in my drink. Wonderful. That is so gross. Ew, y'all, B was in my drink. Still gonna drink it. Actually, I'm not. That's gross. Ugh. Ugh. I was drinking B, y'all. Longhorn Nation. Should I apply for cards while my LexisNexis, Stacks, Dream, and Invis are frozen? So, Jawar, this is part of why I'm gonna recommend inside the credit repair, inside the Facebook group first, some of the people I'm working with, because here's the thing: just because something's frozen necessarily doesn't mean you can't get approved. What ends up happening is the credit card company may send you a verification email like, "Hey, you need to call us. We couldn't approve your thing because you need to call us," and then you would call. And you call the 1-800 number and get verified. Like, that is me. Because a lot of times what happens is people have a fraud alert on their account, whether it's the bureaus or something happened, and they're supposed to call you anyway to verify you. And then that verification process, when you're on the phone those times, you'll usually get pushed through and approved. You always say have 3 to 6 lines. If you already have 2 cards, what's a good third one that isn't auto loan? You can get it depends. What are your cards that you're talking about though? You can get a secure loan at your bank. You can get self-lender. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. Can you get credit cards on new business? Of course, Angel Butler. Yes. It's part of what all these videos people see and you see on the internet are about. That's what I just said at the beginning of this video. I don't know if you heard it. I literally got $60,000 in credit cards from a brand new LLC. So, are there any good credit conferences? You have to Google. You have to go with anything. With all these conferences, there's so many conferences. I live in Austin, Texas. There's like 5 conferences going on every weekend at any given moment. It's ridiculous. So, am I going to catch them all? No. The best thing I can do is go on Eventbrite and try my hardest to catch it. Nicole Noel, go into manufacturer spin. You cannot, again, another channel I recommend, another PDF, because I don't want to get tinged all the time, right? Is 100% Finance. Juan Pablo, he has a whole PDF on how to get crash from credit. You also have that pepper was hitting. You also have a couple other people. Oh no, I just got a Capital One card. There's nothing wrong with getting a Capital One card. If you got to start there, start there. But the thing is, why people hate Capital One is it reports on your personal. So imagine this. This is the thing. If you get all these personal credit cards, if they max one out, their points drop. Now, if you're on your business side, you can max out every single business credit card you have. Every single one. And your score will not change unless you do not pay or you default on it. Capital One is a good starter card. I mean, like, listen to my thing. If you have no cards, you can't get anything. Oh, everybody's saying no. Get a Capital One. It's fine. But don't be running it up. Don't max it out because it'll hit your personal. Black Caesar, let me make this very clear. And I know you don't want to hear this. And everybody, I'm going to repeat this multiple times because nobody wants to believe me. No one wants to hear this. I paid over $60,000 this year, and I fucking know it's true. But I'm going to say this, and I don't mean to get offensive with you. I'm going to read you Black Caesar's comment. Erica, I'm literally getting started with my business. That being said, I would like to know how to acquire business credit and separate it from my personal credit. Let me make it very clear. The Patriot Act killed that. The Patriot Act allowed banks to kill that. Now, you're going to say, no, so-and-so from channel 57, blah, 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 told me I can have separate. Let me make this very clear. Chase Bank and also Bank of America said, we will not consider your personal credit if your business makes $3 million, according to Chase, a year, and according to Bank of America, $5 million a year. So let me make this very clear. If you want to have no personal ties to any of your business credit cards or any of your business lines of credit with a brand new business, make $3 million this year. That's what you do. Or $5 million. And you will have no ties. Now, something I've told you guys along the channel is you can have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vendor lines of credit Go to some of these small community banks and get you some business lines of credit. And what will happen is you'll start having a kind of and I'm not gonna say PedEx or Duns Bradstreet. The best thing I'm gonna say is if you've been watching this channel, you should already be on nav.com, nav.com, and building out your business. If you haven't got the funding course, some of these questions you're asking me, I can tell you haven't gotten the funding course. That's why you're asking them. And again, you're never going to be able to free 99 all your way to every single answer. It just isn't going to happen. But I'll put it this way. Patriot Act allows the bank to go, no shadow businesses. We need to know who you are. You could be a terrorist. So, technically, they can peek at any time. And they can say no at any time. And I know people love this dream of, it's separate. Yeah, it's separate when your business actually is a business. Now, what do I mean? If your business is a franchise making $1 million a year, you wouldn't be getting credit cards for that business. You'd be getting business lines of credit. Business lines of credit for that franchise would pay your payroll, would pay for your supplies, would pay for your stuff. I know people hate hearing this answer. They hate it. They go all over the internet looking for somebody to tell them that they can have shitty credit and personal credit at the same time. And great personal credit at the same time. It just doesn't happen. 86% of banks don't give a shit about Dun & Bradstreet. Then you have Equifax partners and Experian partners is where most people are going to find their stuff. Brandon said he's got to chase unlimited freedom at 17K. There you go. I know the bee fell in my drink and was drinking it, y'all. It's terrible. Tina, I still was going to drink it, but then I got a little turn off. Morgan J, that does happen. Jamar Invest, no. Usually if you do them all on the same day, it becomes, sometimes it's soft pull, sometimes it's not. So to be clear, I will say if you're a brand new business, brand new, they don't know you from Adam, you come to a separate bank and they do a application, they're going to ask for the PG on the application. Taylor, you can get that done today. You could go apply as long as you're showing up on SOS, which is Texas. We have the Texas Secretary of State. You can go look up any business entity. Oh man, VC, that's terrible. So VC said, I'm hoping I can convince my brother-in-law to call you. He's been using his personal credit cards to max out for his business every month. Yeah, good luck on that. Sometimes people have a system they like using and they don't want to change. Curtis Davis, Key Bank closed my business account for not verifying with the Patriot Act. There you go, you guys. Told you. I know this soundtrack of this restaurant. They had Dr. Dre on earlier. They had several other stuff. It's cracking me up. They're moving all around. Okay, yeah. So I am finishing this out, and then I'm heading to my facial at some point here. Erica, would you please have someone put the link for the funding course? Late 90s alternative rock and rap. Yeah, that's kind of what the Pandora is, I think. But yeah, so basically the thing of the conference is got to learn a ton about points, a ton about different levels. And if you want to be a Hilton elite member, Hilton Aspire card is one of the best cards to get, because as soon as you get it, you're actually like the top tier of Hilton, right? Some of the other ones were harder, and it was going to take me another video to break those all down. Harris Hearn, any 2020 tips or investing or predictions? I mean, again, the last couple of events, conferences I've been to, everybody there is basically just trying to max out their limits. Once they max out their limits, they're just going to keep reinvesting. Trey Lincoln, what if I haven't paid my franchise taxes on my business? Is Texas lenient to unpaid franchise taxes? It is. You can actually go get that straightened out downtown on 6th Street. You literally can. You literally can get that straightened out. It's not that big of a deal. No worries, I appreciate you. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, listen. I got the cowboy boots on today at the feeder bacon. I'm gonna run on out of here. Also, a bee flew in my drink, so I don't really want to drink anymore. You guys have a good day. But yeah, I'll put it in the links. You talking about my funding course, or which one are you talking about? But anyways, you guys. All right, this is your Erica. Later, you guys.